All right, so we are going to look at how we can calculate, all right, how we can calculate the x-intercept, all right, and y-intercept. So if we are calculating for the x-intercept, that means our y is equal to 0. And if we are finding the y-intercept, that means our x is equal to 0. All right. So now what we are going to have right here is every time you have been asked to find the x-intercept, your y should always be 0. And every time you have been asked to find the y-intercept, your x should always be 0. For example, let's say we have y is equal to x squared plus 5x plus 6. All right. So if we are finding the y-intercept, what we are going to do is we say our x is equal to 0. Why? Because we are finding the y-intercept. So where there is x, we are replacing with 0. So we have 0 squared plus 5 multiplied by 0 plus 6. So y is equal to 0 squared is 0 plus 5 times 0 is 0 plus 6. So 0 plus 0 is 0 plus 6 we get a 6. So y is equal to 6. And just a quick reminder, when I was explaining yesterday, I clearly indicated when I was referring to a quadratic function, right? I said that if it is like this, okay, I said these are coefficient of x squared b for a, then b, they are coefficient of x, then c is the y-intercept. If you used to be able to go back to that video, you see where I clearly indicated the y-intercept. So if we are finding the y-intercept, our x is 0. So we just replace where there is x. So this one will give us a 0, that will give us a 0. So our y-intercept is c, which is 6. Then if we are now finding the x-intercept, will say y is equal to x squared plus 5x plus 6. So if we are finding the x-intercept, that means our y is 0. So for this one now we come up with a quadratic equation. So if with quadratic equation, that means we can find the roots. All right. So we're going to have x squared plus 5x plus 6 is equal to 0. Okay, is equal to 0. So if you are comfortable with finding the product, sum, and factors, go for it. If that is still challenging on your side, use the quadratic formula. So for the learning purpose, I'll do both methods. Then you will let me know which one is okay for you. So what will be our product? We always multiply the coefficient of that x squared, which is a times c. 1 times 6 is 6. That's our product. For sum, we get b, which is 5. So we should look for two numbers that if we multiply those two numbers, we get 6. But if we add those two numbers, we get 5. Those numbers are 3 and 2. 3 times 2, it is 6. But 3 plus 2 is 5. As a product, 3 times 2, it is 6. As a sum, 3 plus 2 is 5. So now we find the factors. Where there is 5x, we are replacing with the factors. So it will now be x squared plus 3x. It was 3, we just put x. Now 2 in x. 2x plus 6 equal to 0. Then what is common in the first part? We factorize, right? X is common, so factor out x, open bracket. X squared divided by x, it is x. 3x divided by x, it is 3. Then what is common here? 2 is common because 2 can enter into 2, can also enter into 6. So plus 2. 2x divided by 2, it is x. 6 divided by 2, it is 3. Make sure these are the same. I have written bracket, should always be the same. Then we take these which are outside and put them in one bracket. X plus 2, then we pick n of those, x plus 3 equal to 0. Then after that we can equate them since they are now factors. So we can say x plus 2 is equal to 0 or x plus 3 is equal to 0. So this positive 2 on the right side be negative 2. So x is equal to negative 2, the first root. Then x is equal to negative 3, the second root. E positive 3 uku inka negative 3 by additive inverse. So we have x is equal to negative 2, x is equal to negative 3. What this means is that this parabola, all right, let's say we have Cartesian plane. Okay, let's say we have a Cartesian plane like this. So it passed through per x-axis, per y-axis, because this is y and this is x. It passed through on the y at 6. Yeah, Papa 6. But in the x-axis, it passed at negative 2 at negative 3. So 0, negative 1, let's say negative 2 is here, and negative 3 is here. So the parabola came like this. Okay, and then he went up like that. That's what it means. So these are the values of x, which are 2. And the value of y, which is 6 there. Awesome. Now, let's see quadratic function, quadratic formula, if it will give us the same.